My name is Jenny, and I'm a wife and a mom raising 2 kids. But I used to live a more glamorous life as a TV reporter. I was on the nightly news, interviewing pop stars and politicians. So when I said goodbye to TV and hello to motherhood, I suddenly discovered what we moms are up against. We live in a world that tells us to be rich and famous, thin and successful. Almost nobody says, "Oh, hey, you're a mom? That's fabulous." But you are fabulous, and I'm here to tell you why.
Finally, before we go to Johnny, I promised my daughter, I'm very blessed to have a wonderful husband and son and daughter. My daughter handed me a great clean joke book last night and read a joke out of it. Here it is. I thought it was very applicable. A husband proving to his wife that women talk more than men, that would apply in my case, showed her a study that indicated that men use on the average only 15,000 words a day, whereas women use 30,000 words a day. Well, the wife replied, that's because women have to repeat everything they say when they're talking to men. What? Said the man. Point taken. Yes, I love that. I thought it was very funny and I said I would use it on the show. So there it is. All righty. Wonderful. We have Johnny McCoy here today, who wrote Miserly Moms, Living Well on Less in a Tough Economy. And I have read the book, and it's helped me a great deal. In fact, right here before me, we can see on the camera over there, I have a receipt for saving 43% off my grocery bill recently at King Soopers. So she has definitely helped me. And now, Johnny, I want people to understand your story. You left a full-time job to stay at home with a child in San Francisco, I believe. You were making, just about as much money as your husband. You lost that income, and you were able basically to figure out how to, what you say, make money at home in order to stay in the same house and make up for the lost income, which I think is wonderful. So I would love for you to explain your story to people today. And by the way, welcome to the show.
Hey, Jenny, how you doing today?
I'm very good, thank you.
I did quit my job voluntarily to stay home and raise my son at the time. We had 1 child. And actually, I was making more than my husband was. So it was a real challenge for us. And we had already downsized. We were in a very tiny townhouse. We owned 2 used cars. It really wasn't a whole lot of, downsizing we could do any further than what we were already doing. Mm-hmm. So it was a choice of leave the area and go live somewhere very cheap, but my husband couldn't get employment out there because what he did, required big city type stuff. So it was change how we did everything, change how we shopped. And that was really difficult because neither one of us had been raised frugal.
Oh.
I grew up overseas. My dad took a job with a foreign corporation, and so we did world travel and had 5 servants, and it was the complete opposite of frugal living. Came back for high school, was sent off to college, didn't have to work through college. Now that I have 2 kids in college, I know what a gift that was.
Yes, it was, because I sure had to work through college.
And so we had no training, no training whatsoever. And so here we were trying to figure out how can we cut 55% of our income and still, remain sane and healthy.
Yeah. So, and I know you have fabulous tips because I've read through the book, but I want you to share them with our listeners today. I first want to let everybody know, though, if you have a question for Johnny about your grocery bills or just how to live more frugally, you can call her at 303-297-1510, and we'll put your call in the air, and you can ask Johnny a question. But, Johnny, I love some of your tips, some things I'd never thought of before. It is kind of a job. I mean, you sort of really are making money. I dreaded the thought that I had to sit down, and I know you're not a big coupon person, but I did clip coupons, and then I would look at the flyers from both. It's wonderful now. They have it on the web. You can look up, what each store has on sale and so forth. And then you just sort of plan out your shopping, and you go to a couple different stores, and you get the best deals at each store. Loved that, and it was really new to me. But talk about that and some of the other tips you have for moms in reminding them that it is a little bit of a job. I mean, it takes a couple hours a week if you're going to do it well.
It is a little bit of a job, but I don't want it to scare people because if you did absolutely everything I say to do in the book, which please do not try and go do that at day 1. You need to, one at a time, add them to your life and get used to it before you add the next one. But if you did everything, it only took me 7 hours a week. So it's not an enormous amount of time. But I was so used to salaries and promotions and, bonuses that I had to sort of begin to look at my work as, was I making money? Was I saving money? How was it? So I divided how much I saved every week by how many hours it took me to do that. And I was, saving more per hour than I was making at my past job.
Wow.
So it became sort of a challenge, how much more can I save? How much more can we do?
Yeah.
So, but each tip will save you more. One tip, will add a little bit more to the next, to the next, to the next kind of thing.
Yeah, and you make the point that, this sounds strange to me, but that having a job actually costs us $9 to $25 an hour.
Every job, there is a cost of working. And when I thought about going back to work part-time during this whole time we were trying to figure it out, and that was the first time I sat down and figured out a cost of working and was shocked. And when I helped other people, a lot of them were paying for the privilege of working. It was costing them more to work than they were bringing home. So you need to factor in, there's the obvious things like childcare, your gas, your parking, et cetera. But you tend to, your clothes, your hair, we did that more often. More lunches out because staff, people keep inviting you. Hey, we're all going to lunch. There's more of that. There's office gifts. There's, and here's the big one that a lot of people don't think about, but our grocery bill was 4 times higher when we worked because you tend to rely more on convenience foods or eating out or this or that because you have less time. You also don't have time to shop sales,
Sure, absolutely. I want to make a point. I don't want moms out there who work to think that I'm saying that everybody has to stay home and you better start saving money so you can stay home. I know that there is a reason that some moms work and that's absolutely fine with me. So I don't want them to think that I'm trying to draw everybody to home. But surveys do show that 90% of mothers would like to stay home full-time or part-time or at least some of the time. And what you're saying to me is there's a way to do that. There's a way to save money. So could you just throw out a couple of the tips that moms want to know from Miserly Moms, the book?
Yep. I'm going to throw out the hugest, biggest one, and this one works for single moms who are working full-time, who do not have time to apply any other tip I share for them, so I'll give them this one. And this one tip can save you 35% on your grocery bill. So if you, when you go to make out your menu for the week, well, that's the first step. Make a menu for the week. A lot of people don't even do that. They'll just go to the store, grab, and then they leave. So you're going to make a menu for the week, but instead of sitting down and saying, well, this week I feel like having, this and this and this, take a look at the sale flyer that for the store that you find to be the cheapest near you. And again, you don't have to have a newspaper, and you can do this over your lunch break or coffee break because everything's online. Every one of the sale flyers is online, kingsupers.com, safeway.com, albertsons.com. So take a look at what's being featured. Now, on the front page and the back page of the sale flyer are what are called lost leaders. Stores are losing money on those two pages because they want you to come in and take your whole shopping list to them.
Right.
So they're trying to attract you in. So on the front page, it's usually at least 1 or 2 meat-type items. The back page is usually produce. Let those things be the basis of your menu for the week.
Right.
So that everything that you make has those as the staple. And it's easy, even if it's a horrible week, which very rarely happens, and let's say there's only chuck steak on sale at any store in the neighborhood, you get a good cookbook, which, by the way, the second book I came out with is Healthy Meals for Less, which is all frugal recipes. And what you need is a good index in the back, which is done by meat type, so fish, poultry, pork, whatever, so that you can find 18 different kinds of ways to present the same meat without your family knowing they have the same meat all week.
Yeah, and you have recipes in Miserly Moms, too.
I do. There's a lot of recipes in Miserly Moms, but then we came out with Healthy Meals for Less. There's over 200 recipes in there. So that's one step alone. By letting what's on sale drive your menu instead of you just arbitrarily picking it, you will drop 35% off your budget. Yeah,
and I've known that if I just go and look at the loss leaders for the several stores in our neighborhood, we're up in the mountains, so we only have 2. But I can take advantage of that and really walk out. One day I looked at both bills and I'd saved something like $120 by going to the 2 different stores and just getting what they had on sale and then doing my meals based on that. Now, you are not necessarily a fan of coupons or the big warehouse stores, because I know there are some advantages to both those things, because I actually do clip coupons. But tell people why they don't need to lean on those things.
Right. Coupons are a good tool if there are certain name brand items that you're after. But basically, a coupon first comes from a name brand item as opposed to an off-brand or store brand. So there it's always going to be more expensive. And often the name brand item plus coupon is still more expensive than off-brand. So sometimes it doesn't work out. The other reason is coupons tend to be for convenience items. Very rarely will you find it to be a staple item that you need.
That is true.
Yeah. So you often want to reconsider, can I make that for less? Do I really need that convenience right now? So by avoiding those two things, I tend to not do name brands. I tend to try not to do convenience foods as often as I can. So that means that most coupons aren't going to apply to my shopping needs. However, now there are certain name brand items that, we're very fond of, and so those are the ones I'll grab a coupon for, but it's pretty rare that I use a coupon.
Yeah, and then also the warehouse stores, you say you can save there, but you shouldn't buy everything there.
You need to be very careful about what you buy there. There's a short list of items that are usually cheaper there. A majority of the items are more expensive than you will find a name brand on sale at a grocery store. Most of the items in a warehouse store are name brand, first of all. I mean, they do have, their own brand, which tends to be cheaper. However, their store brand still tends to be more expensive than a name brand on sale at a regular grocery store, which is odd.
Yeah.
Also, the warehouse clubs tend to carry the higher end of the products. Like if you're going to buy, vacuum cleaners or this or that, they only feature one or two, and they tend to be very high-end type of vacuum or item, so you're not getting a real good broad spectrum. You really need to do your research, basically, is what I'm saying.
Before you
go. You really want.
Now, and I want to touch on one or two other things in the book. We only have about 3 minutes left, but you talk about how to get your kids to save, which is kind of a chore in and of itself, and you have recipes, and you have ways to make toys at home, and ways to save heat, and it's got a bunch of tips, which I really just love. Tell me, for the moms out there, how budgeting actually makes you a better mother and a better wife, and you actually can do some child training in it.
Well, budgeting is basically just another word for money tool. Okay, so you're just basically figuring out how to plan and use your money wiser, which will, one, educate your family, two, allow you to, maybe work in some extras. Or instead of, going into debt for the extras, you can, work in some extras, and those can be the incentives for the kids. Hey, if we don't buy this and we buy this instead of that, then we'll have this much left over, and we put that in the bank, and then next week we could do the same. By the end of the month, we're going to have this much, and then, wow, what could we do with that? It can be a real tool.
Yes, it can. And I have my daughter sit in the back when we're going to the store, and she cuts out coupons and tells me what they're for. And she's gotten very savvy about it. So it's a great training tool to help her do it, at an earlier age, because I didn't start doing it till I was in, now, like my 40s. So it took a while. Please tell people how they can get a hold of your book.
Yes, please visit my website at miserlymoms.com. You can also find both books on Amazon. And you can write to me, and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions that you may not have been able to ask today.
Yes, wonderful. Well, Johnny, we certainly appreciate you being on the show. And I have to say, Happy Mother's Day to you.
And Happy Mother's Day to you, too, Jenny. And thanks for having me.
Thanks so much, Johnny. We'll talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, that was Johnny McCoy, who wrote Miserly Moms, Living Well on Less in a Tough Economy. She told you how to get a hold of the book, and I would recommend it. It was fabulous when I read it. This is the Channel Mom Show on Mile High Sports Radio, AM 1510 and FM 93.7, where we are celebrating you, Mom, and we want to give you all kinds of stuff that will help your life, both as a mommy and as an individual. I am your host, Jenny Dean Schmidt. You can email me at channelmom@aol.com, or you can talk to us on Facebook at facebook.com/Channel Mom. And in order to talk to us, I think you got to like us. I'm not super tech savvy, but I'm pretty sure you got to like us to do that. Oh, thank you, Josh. That is my producer. And I'm so grateful for him because he's constantly needing to correct me. Did you know, by the way, that you can also watch us, the Channel Mom Show, on the website, www.channelmom.com. So if you want to see the video version of any of these interviews, we welcome you to do that there. So tune in to next week's show to learn about some very simple ways to improve your marriage. I think we all get frustrated now and again, and I'm going to have somebody on to tell you all about ways to improve your marriage, which we could all use every now and then. And we'll also have some help for those without spouses, too. So I just want to thank you for tuning into the Channel Mom Show today. We hope that you feel celebrated, and we invite you to come back next week from 8 to 9 a.m. on Mile High Sports Radio. Talk to you soon.
Jenny, I have to say congratulations on your first show, and happy Mother's Day weekend.
Oh, what a good boy. Your mother must love you, Josh.
She does.
Thank you.